Have you ever felt like your mind is just a browser with way too many tabs open at once, all of them playing different sounds? Well, today we're diving into Jay Shetty's Think Like a Monk. We're going to see how some really ancient wisdom might just be the key to finding the close button on all that mental noise.
All right, let's jump right into the core idea, which is this constant battle happening inside our heads. On one side, you've got what Shetty calls the monkey mind. You know the one. It's anxious, it's jumping all over the place, and it's constantly looking outside for validation, for that next like. But the goal, the other side of this, is the monk mind. Calm, focused, and driven by an internal sense of purpose. This whole book is basically a training manual to help you tame that restless monkey.
So, Jay Shetty breaks this journey down into 3 really clear parts. And the first, and maybe the most important step, is all about learning to let go. Think of this as a serious mental decluttering session, making space for the things that actually matter.
Okay, so what are we supposed to be letting go of? You can think of it like a mental spring cleaning. We're talking about clearing out those fears that keep us stuck, those negative thought loops that play on repeat, and, this is a big one, that heavy weight of trying to live up to what everyone else expects of us. It's about letting go of the ego, that need to constantly compare ourselves. This is about creating the space you need to actually breathe.
But how do you actually do this? It's so easy to just say, oh, be more positive, right? Well, the book gives us a surprisingly simple but really powerful, hands-on tool to start taking back control from those negative thoughts. It's called the Spot, Stop, Swap method, and it's a brilliant little 3-step process. First, you spot the negative thought the moment it pops into your head. You just become aware of it. Then, you stop. You literally create a mental pause before that thought can gain momentum and spiral out of control. And finally, you swap it. You consciously, intentionally replace it with a more positive or constructive thought. It's like doing a rep at the gym, but for your brain.
All right, so once you've done some of that mental clearing, you've basically created some fertile ground. Now it's time for part 2. It's time to grow. This is all about planting the seeds of purpose and real intention in that new space you've created.
Now we get to this really cool, central concept in the book, finding your dharma. And look, this is way more than just your job or your career. Your dharma is your unique calling. It's that sweet spot where what you love to do, what you're actually good at, and what the world needs from you all come together. So how in the world do you find it? Well, you start by asking yourself 3 pretty direct questions. Number 1, what do I genuinely love to do? What's my passion? Number 2, what am I actually good at? What's my expertise? And number 3, how can those things help other people? How can they be useful? According to Shetty, your dharma lives right there, in the middle of those 3 answers. And this quote, man, it just hits so hard. It really gets to the core of this whole idea. It's this powerful reminder that being authentic is so much more important than being perfect. Living your own life, even with all its imperfections, is infinitely better than trying to live a perfect copy of someone else's. But here's the thing. Finding your purpose isn't some big one-time lightning strike. It's a daily practice. The book really hammers home this idea that a life of purpose is built brick by brick, through the small, intentional habits you practice every single day. The quality of your routines really does determine the quality of your life. And to help make this super practical, Shetty lays out this amazing morning routine that he calls TIME. T is for thankfulness, starting your day with gratitude. I is for insight, getting some clarity by reading or journaling. M is for meditation, taking a few minutes to quiet that monkey mind. And E is for exercise, getting your body moving and energized. It's just a simple framework to start every single day with real intention.
This brings us to the third and final stage of this whole transformation, and this one is about moving beyond yourself. After you've worked on letting go, and after you started to grow, the ultimate fulfillment, the book argues, comes when you learn to give.
So the core idea here is pretty radical. It's that the deepest, most lasting happiness doesn't actually come from what we get for ourselves. It comes from what we contribute. Service isn't just a nice thing to do when you have time. It's framed as the highest possible expression of your purpose.
And what's great is that the book makes it clear that giving doesn't have to be some huge heroic act. It's something you can weave into your everyday life. You can practice it by making gratitude an active habit, not just a passive feeling. You can practice it by truly deeply listening to someone without just waiting for your turn to talk. Or you can practice it by just looking for small opportunities to be of service, wherever you are.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a minute and pull all of this together. Before we wrap this up, I think it's really important to take a look at how the book was received and kind of see where it fits in the bigger world of self-improvement.
So, on one hand, people really love this book for its clear, step-by-step framework and its practical tools, like that TIME routine. It does a great job of making all this ancient wisdom feel really accessible and easy to apply. On the flip side, some critics will point out that a lot of these concepts aren't new. They are pretty common in the self-help space. And it's also worth noting that the author's background has faced some scrutiny over the years.
At the end of the day, I think the biggest takeaway is this. The goal here is not to get you to quit your job and go live in a monastery. Not at all. It's about taking the principles, intention, gratitude, service, and integrating that mindset into the busy, modern life you already have. It's about learning to think like a monk, not actually becoming one.
So, to bring this all home, let's make it about you. Because, hearing about this stuff is one thing, but putting it into practice is where the magic happens. So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. What is one monkey mind habit? Maybe it's endlessly scrolling and comparing yourself, or that one negative thought that always seems to show up. What's one habit that you can start the process of letting go of, starting this week?